Here at Microcenter, we shoot a lot of video content. YouTube, Instagram, social media, we shoot a ton. And I'm a big gearhead when it comes to cameras. I have a camera collection at home. I have a Blackmagic 4K. I have an FX3 at home. I also have an A7R IV. Here in the studio, we use a Sony FX3, Sony FX30, A7R V, and we have a ZV-E10. I also use the PTZ Optics Move 4K PTZ cameras for our podcast. We have a lot of cameras here, but my favorite camera that I've been using for the last 6 months is the camera that I'm shooting this video on right now, which is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Hands down, this is actually my favorite camera lately because it's so easy to use. So I've kind of stumbled upon an interesting, I'll call it ecosystem, between the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and this Microsoft Surface laptop. This is the new Copilot Plus PC that came out. So this has Qualcomm's new X Elite 12-core processor. Really great processor, great battery life, but I also found this to be kind of the perfect pairing with this camera in terms of editing the footage, using DaVinci Resolve on this new ARM processor, and it's lightweight, great battery life, but it's also powerful enough to handle the 10-bit footage that comes from this camera. And the price to performance is really, really good. So this makes a really good low budget kind of entry-level area where if you want to step away from making content with your phone and get a little bit more professional, but you don't want to step into an FX30 or any kind of high-end cinema cameras, I think this is a really nice middle ground for content creators to sort of step up their video game. I mean, we're still getting 10-bit video, we're still getting really good audio quality with this mic, and editing on this has been a breeze. So let's dive in and talk a little bit about it. First, I want to talk about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So Microcenter carries a bunch of creator products, and we do carry the Creator Combo, which comes with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which you can see here. And if you don't know about this camera, it's been out for over a year, but it's really awesome. It has a built-in gimbal, it's a 1-inch CMOS sensor, and it's a fixed lens. It's about the equivalent of a 20mm lens, kind of get a very wide field of view. But what I love about this is you can do vertical content, or you can do horizontal content, or you can go back to doing vertical content. It's really, really easy. Now, this does 4K up to 120 frames. You have 3K, which goes up to about 60 frames if you're doing vertical. For 4K though, I've been using 4K 24 for a lot of my content, and then for social media, we'll kind of jump up to like 60. 4K 60 is what you can do, but you can do 4K 120 if you want to do it like an S&Q mode for slow-mo. I was using my FX3 for vertical content for a little bit, and I just found the process to be a bit too much because you shoot everything, then you download it, and then you have to make proxies because not every computer is going to deal with 10-bit 422 footage very well. And then you dive into the edit and put your color, put your LUT, do everything else. I've been using the footage straight out of this with some very minor tweaks in DaVinci Resolve, but I've just been using it straight out of camera because I think the picture quality and the color quality is really, really good. Yes, it has HLG. Yes, it has the D-Log-M. You can work with all of that if you really want, but this is all about streamlining the process, and I think the image quality just looks great just coming straight out the camera. Now, what I like about the Creator Kit is that it comes with this little extension bit, so you can charge it through the USB, and that comes out the side instead of on the bottom, and it gives you the 1/4 thread adapter. So you can put this on a tripod, a monopod, you can put this on a stand, whatever you want. But I prefer to use the battery grip adapter here, so this just snaps right in, and it gives you tons of battery life. I mean, I have never run into an instance where I run out of battery life when I'm using the battery handle. And it also gives you the 1/4 thread on the bottom, so you can attach the little tripod feet. It extends the Osmo, so it makes it a little bit bigger, which I prefer. I find the core device to be a little bit too small for me, and it just kind of makes it easier to manage. Still gives you the USB-C on the back, which is actually really versatile because you can use this for charging. You can use this for connecting to your computer to download your footage. You can actually attach any lav mic you want with a USB adapter to this and it'll work. You can also attach a USB-C to 3.5mm adapter and you can plug in any headphones. You can monitor your audio through this port. I just found that out by accident just by trying because I was curious. And I was actually really surprised it worked, so that was really cool. You can also plug this into your computer and use this as a webcam, which is actually a really cool feature, especially when you take into consideration the fact that you put it into selfie mode by pressing the stick 3 times, and you can just touch your face twice on the screen, and the ActiveTrack mode will track you around. So you can set this on your desk, use it as a webcam, and you can move around the room if you want, and it'll follow you with ease. So it's a really interesting multi-purpose camera. Obviously, I think the webcam usage is probably going to be one of the lower tiered things that people are going to be looking for when it comes to this camera. But I like it because you can use this with OBS if you're a streamer, and if you're a very active, like moving streamer, I think it's a really good streaming camera. So that's something to keep in mind. And you can IP stream as well. So you could do live streams from this camera, which is also a really great feature. Now in the Creator Kit, you also get a single mic. This is the DJI Mic 2, and this is a really versatile and really awesome lav mic. I like this a lot. It's really high quality. Everything about this setup is really meant to be ease of use. I just clip this to my pocket here, and I'm letting the camera handle all of the levels. You get safety tracks, internal 32-bit float recording, which is overkill in my opinion, but it's a really great option to have, especially if you're worried about losing signal between the wireless transmitter here and the camera itself. So sometimes you get signal drops, so having that backup track recorded internally on here is a really good feature to have. Another cool thing is the hard case here. You can store your wide angle lens, which comes with this Creator Kit. And I like using this lens a lot because it increases the field of view. You can check it out for yourself. You get more field of view on the side, and if you're doing vertical, you get a little extra on the top and bottom as well. So if you're shooting in a really kind of tight space, it takes that 20 millimeter equivalent, probably makes it closer to like, I don't know, a 16. You get just a little bit more. I'll take this off for now. But that's how easy it is to put on. And the biggest thing about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 compared to the 2, big improvements on the autofocus. I find the autofocus to be fantastic. I've been using this as an extra camera for when we're doing PC builds to sort of follow my face. And it does a pretty good job of kind of following me around, but also keeping me in focus. We also sell the ND kits from DJI. If you take this outside, I highly, highly recommend using the ND kits. We also sell the kits from Newer, which are like $39.99, which is a really good price, and it comes with 1 extra ND filter, and it also comes with a polarizer, so that's worth checking out. But again, this is hands down kind of my favorite camera of this year. I've been using this nonstop for all of our vertical content. I've stopped using our FX3 for vertical content because this is just way, way easier. And I started editing on the Microsoft Surface laptop here, mostly because there's a micro SD card slot on the side. So sometimes I'll plug the camera directly into the laptop to download my footage, but then other times if I'm just taking the SD card with me, I'll just plug that right in. And I took it for a test drive. I have DaVinci Resolve installed on here. And keep in mind, this is the newest version of DaVinci Resolve for ARM. So it's out of beta now, and it's DaVinci Resolve Studio 19. I find it to be pretty stable. I haven't had any issues. But I want to talk a little bit about performance and quality of life when it comes to editing the footage that comes off of the Osmo Pocket 3. All right, so I want to talk about the Surface laptop for a few minutes. Now, I'm using the base version. This was $999 at launch. This came with 16 gigabytes of RAM, a 256 gigabyte SSD, and this has the 12-core X Elite processor. So right out the gate, you get really, really good performance, even though that SSD was a little bit small. So I actually went ahead and I opened this up and I was able to install a 1 terabyte SSD on my own. And it was really easy to do. All in all, the performance of this laptop is really, really great. And I'm interested to see where Windows on ARM takes us in the next few years. My expectation is that we're going to get a lot more performance down the line. And I think using this as a creator laptop is going to be a norm. And this is going to be a really big competitor against Apple Silicon. So it's going to be pretty cool. So I have DaVinci Resolve open here, and I've used this for a bunch of video editing for vertical content that we've done, and the user experience has been great. I mean, the performance of this laptop has been fantastic. The X Elite processor has no issue working with this footage right out of the camera. I did try some of the D-Log M footage and putting the LUT on, but it just felt like an extra step. I know that you're supposed to get a little bit more dynamic range, but frankly, like this is vertical content, so I'm really not worried about dynamic range. I just take the footage straight out of the camera. I mean, here you can see I have a couple of nodes where I made some adjustments to the exposure. I darkened some of the areas and lightened some of the areas with some masks, and I had no issues there. I did a speed ramp on some of the footage here in the beginning. I added some captions. I mean, all in all, for vertical content, it works great. If you want to do long form horizontal content, it does work really well, but I do recommend looking into the 32 gigabyte models of the Surface laptop. The Adreno graphics, it does use the RAM and it shares that, so that GPU definitely can benefit from some extra RAM. Now, fortunately, we do have the model with 32 gigabytes on sale for $14.99. So you can get a Surface laptop with 1 terabyte SSD, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and that X-Elite 12-core processor. I mean, $14.99, that's a really, really good deal. And we have that running through the holidays, so you should really check it out. What I like about DaVinci Resolve is that it's really easy to use, but if it's too intimidating for you, if you're coming from working on your phone and you're familiar with CapCut, well, the good news is CapCut has a desktop version that works on ARM, and it works really, really well. I mean, this is super easy to use. I have no issue working with the footage on here. You could do horizontal, you could do vertical. You even have the touchscreen here with the Microsoft Surface laptop. So if you're used to sort of touchscreen controls with your phone, I mean, it's a really, really easy and seamless transition. So that's a really cool thing to keep in mind. What I like about this ecosystem is it's very easy to use, it's very user-friendly, and it's very lightweight and compact. I could fit all of this into a backpack easily. I can travel around, I can edit on the go. So if you're a vlogger or a content creator in any form and you just want a quick and easy way to just sort of produce content, this is a really great combination. And don't forget that not only can you edit on your laptop, you can also edit on your phone, because the DJI Mimo app allows you to transfer the footage directly to your phone, and then you can just upload it directly to social media if you want. I like using DaVinci Resolve or CapCut to do any minor edits, if there's any flubs or anything I want to do. I like working in this kind of environment, but you can still work in a mobile environment as well. So that's something to keep in mind. I think the Surface laptop doesn't get enough credit for what it can do in the creator space. And I think Windows on ARM, we're going to see a lot of leaps in performance over the next few years. I mean, what they did right out the gate on release was really impressive, I think. Windows works flawlessly. The translation layer works flawlessly with every app that you can think of, so there's no issues there. I mean, it's not for gaming, but I think for content creators, you're going to see a lot more use case coming out of these devices. So that's something to keep in mind. There's one other thing I wanted to demonstrate really quick about this setup that I've really been liking. You can stick this on any monopod, and when you put it in the selfie mode, it kind of instantly becomes a cameraman, which is really, really funny. It's really handy. I've been using this a lot when we've been shooting in the store or when I've been shooting vertical content here. Right now I have the DJI Ronin tripod feet, and I have this on 2 extension arms that I use. So when I put it in selfie mode, I'll just start recording now. I can take this extension arm, and this gets pretty tall. And then I can just ActiveTrack my face, set it down, and all of a sudden I have an instant cameraman that is lightweight, portable, and I can set this wherever I want. So for instance, if I'm gonna go to one of our new store openings, which we might be opening a store soon, this is a combo that I can use to actually produce some content in store where it doesn't take up a lot of footprint. If you're using a tripod, tripods can take up a lot of feet, especially if like you have camera people and other people to do stuff. If you're a solo shooter, I mean, this is the ultimate setup. I mean, this is really, really cool. It's super lightweight, and I can just set this right over here. And there we go. And it does a really good job of following me around. So the Space model, $999. Right now we're having a sale for the holidays on the 32 gigabyte model for $14.99. which is a really, really good deal, especially when you consider $14.99 for the laptop and then another $669 for the creator combo. So if you're a content creator, a little more than $2,000 gets you pretty far in terms of long form horizontal content, vertical content, everything that you can do with ease, and you can let the camera do a lot of the work, and you know that your laptop is going to perform really, really well in terms of editing and handling this content. I think it's a great combo. And what I really, really like about this is that everything from the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 fits into this case. And this laptop, this is super lightweight. So you can get this entire kit together and you can fit it into a backpack like this, and it weighs nothing. So you can get your content creation career started for a little over $2,000, and you got an awesome, awesome combo going. I wanted to make this video because I really like this laptop, I really like this camera, and I just found this to be an interesting combination that I wanted to share with you and kind of talk about these sort of ecosystems that you can build. Because when you buy a camera, it's not in a vacuum. You need other devices to support what you do with that camera. You need to edit everything that comes from that camera, right? So you're not buying everything just in a vacuum. When you buy a laptop like this, but you want to be a content creator, I mean, sure, I could use the webcam here, but you're going to want to step up a little bit further, so you're going to need a camera. You're going to need lights. You're going to need other things, and you end up building this kind of whole little content creator ecosystem. So I thought this was really interesting and kind of worth giving a shout out to. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I mean, if you've been using this laptop, if you've been using this camera, I want to know more about your thoughts. And make sure to check out Microcenter. We're having some awesome deals this month on a wide range of products, and especially this Surface laptop right now, you can get for a fantastic price. So if you want to get this laptop and this camera, stop by your local Microcenter. If you don't have a Microcenter near you, comment hashtag I want a Microcenter near me.